You want to sit? Yeah, your head on that.
Yeah,
This way?
here we go.
Hey, oh, this way.
What's going on?
Nick, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see you now.
I can't hear you at all.
No way.
I have my earphones in.
No earphones. Pull them out.
I can't hear you, but I have my motorcycle and the Christmas tree in the background.
Pull
Merry
your
Christmas.
earbuds out. Pull your earbuds out. Just run it.
Take
just
them
run
out?
it by itself. Yep.
Is that better? Hold on. Wait 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Lucas, these phones aren't working?
Earphones. Can you just unhook them?
No, just go regular speakers. Fine.
Jake, slide in there.
How are you turning the TV off?
What's going on, Matt? I see you. Hey, look at this guy. What are you guys getting in for the eggnog over there, or what?
There's a long delay.
There's a long day. Go ahead. Is that better?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Okay,
good on my
hold on.
side.
There we go.
Okay.
Better?
I see you're in the Christmas spirit.
I can't hear him at all.
I could turn it up here, but then you'd hear yourself talk too.
I can't hear him, Luke. What do we do? Hold on. I can try a different phone.
Is it hooked up to? Is that phone hooked up to some other unit?
I have it all the way up. It's all the way up, dude. This is technical difficulties. Will Fredericks like my neck, though. My necklace. Dude, I'm like so technologically disenchanted. I don't know how this works. Hold on.
I'm
Let me try this.
super glad that you ride better than you play with your mobile device.
Can you turn the volume up on that?
Hold on. Let me see those.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Is that working?
It's good on my end.
I can hear mine. Yeah.
You look really good. I can't hear you, but you look incredible.
Chris Bob's playing Luke.
Well, I mean, you look all right too with your hat on and your lights on.
Can we just go from Luke's phone? Oh, hey.
How many
Shed some light on the
WLF
subject.
does it take
Merry
to
Christmas.
live stream?
Log in under my account.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there we go, dude. Hey, I think I can hear.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Turn her over, bro.
I got it.
Over. No,
We're
turn
in.
it over.
Oh, turn it over. Turn it over.
Yeah, the phone's upside down.
The phone. Okay. All right. I've had too much eggnog.
I see that.
But I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Here we go. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
So I need you to answer a very important question so everyone knows who I'm talking to and why I'm talking to you.
And why I look so weird in this Christmas hat and there's a motorcycle in my living room?
You can explain that as well. So tell everyone who you are, who you ride with, and why are we having this conversation?
Nick, I'm glad you asked that question. I really am. My name is Culver with the Wolf Enduro crew, one of the 6 founders of Wolf. I got a few friends that want to say Merry Christmas. We're having this conversation because it's Christmas, it's holidays. We just had our StumbleBee event. We're feeling very cheery. You can see from my hat and my necklace that Will loves so much. So I have J.S. Smitty to my left.
Yeah.
Founding father. Luke Takahashi coming in hot. Chaz Rita, Chaz R. Greg's back there somewhere. We got the whole Wolf founding fathers. We're missing Mike Smith, though. He's working right now. So, does happen. Got to pay the bills.
Yep.
Got to get those diapers.
Yep.
So, and then we're going to talk about StumbleBee, the ride that we just did. When did we just do that, guys?
It was
2 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago? Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fresh. I shaved for this, too, by the way. I wanted to make sure I looked, as good as you. I try.
I told you I was going to be scruffy. I'm due. I got to go and hit
You
up
are
the
due.
barber tomorrow, probably Thursday.
I heard your barber rides. Is that true?
That is true. He's an actual dual sport guy. Got a plated Honda 650. He's got a big boy.
Let's get him out on the trails. Let's get him on the live feed. The next one.
I will definitely let him know about that on Thursday if he isn't already watching right now. Sometimes he watches. Yeah.
Tell him to get a cut. I need a fresh cut. Let's do this.
Bring it on
Come
up to Bakersfield, bro.
I'll bring it to Bakersfield. I like it.
So,
I like it. Can I ditch this? Is that cool?
That's totally fine.
Okay. Where are we at? Oh, hit me, Nick. What do we got?
You got to
Let's
take
talk.
your costume off, man. Just don't take
I
too
know.
much of it off.
All right, dude. It's not that kind of show.
Yeah, no, it's not. So talk to me here. I
Oh,
want to
man.
know. Well, first off, let's start off on the right foot. You already told us
Yeah.
who you are and who you ride with and all your other buddies there. But tell me, what are you riding nowadays?
Nowadays, I'm on the freshest 1999 XR you've ever seen. So
Did everyone catch that?
everyone, I hope you heard that. 1999.
1999.
Yeah, I got a bike older than probably half your viewers, dude.
Right. But okay, so let's just bring up the point here. That's pretty cool. You're not rocking a brand spanking new bike, but it is something that's tried and true, and you move pretty well on the thing. I've been behind you a few times. That's definitely for sure.
Doesn't happen that much. I'm usually in the back, especially behind you, dude, ripping. So, but it's yeah. I mean, it works. It does the trick. I have friends, obviously, the whole pack that has amazing new bikes, and the Huskies and the Hondas and the KTMs are all incredible machines. That I started riding on an old bike, and it's like kind of one of those things when you surf on an old board or you like get your first, it's kind of like your beater that always is comfortable, and yeah, it feels good. Do it, you know.
So tell me about your riding history. When did you start riding?
So it's been about 10 years now that I got on a bike, kicked my leg over the first time. So the founders of Wolf, you met them a few minutes ago, and you guys obviously know a lot of us just from being in the community. But the Smith brothers, the compound actually where Wolf was founded at, was just friends around a fire, and they invited me out to go for a ride, and it felt like surfing, snowboarding, skateboarding all rolled into one with your best friends that you're just, you know, packing out, following down the trails, and it felt like home. I was so pumped, and I never looked back, you know.
No, you guys got definitely a tight crew. I've hung out there a couple times. I've been privileged to go out there and hang out with you guys. And like you said, it's just an awesome feeling to hang around with likewise guys. So you said, so you've been riding for 10 years now, and basically got more into it in the last, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, probably right around there. It's been like, I mean, we were always doing like the trail ride thing was just what we all were inspired by, wanted to get lost, you know? And at the end of the day, it's like, you just keep riding and getting more and more involved in the community and realizing what an amazing community that the riding, you know, the two wheels is insane. I mean, it's like every time I look, I see you and little Nick and just what you guys are doing. And that inspires me to be like, man, I want Grayson, my son, to be out there here soon enough. And it's a very family oriented activity. It kind of has to be, right? Like, you know, everybody taking care of each other. So that's like in the last probably 5 years, just realizing, dude, the people that we meet and all the places that we got to go, it just exponentially grows. You know what I mean? So more seat time, always need more seat time.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a great thing to be involved with, because there's times when the guys just go out and ride, and then there's times when the guys, you know, go camping and bring wives, and they all hang out, family time, let alone the kids and everything are involved as well. Every time, you know, every different time is meant, you know, right for that grouping. But, you know, it's an awesome thing to be able to bring your kids up in, and I've watched your son as well, and I'm waiting to see him just start ripping around here soon. And just handling it and just earning his patch, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Smile more? My wife's telling me to smile, and I thought it was just like, I thought I had a booger, but she wants me to smile.
So let's talk about this ride, StumbleBee. So unfortunately, I've heard about it. I've not been to it. And I got a lot of crap because I didn't go this last time. And I actually haven't talked to any one of you guys. Legitly, I have not talked to any one of you guys about this last ride that you guys have. So everything that you're telling me is all brand new, and I'm getting to hear this too for the first time. But again, I've never been to that actual ride. And explain to me where StumbleBee came from and what was the purpose of it. Give me some background on that.
Well, first of all, it's not because we have anything against you. We love you, Nick. We want you at every ride we do. But the way it has transpired over the years, it's been a ride that as a crew, we've done for almost, I think Jake, Greg, and Mikey, and Chaz were all doing it in like 2007. And it was like just a kind of a rite of passage. Get on the bike for a really long time. Put yourself in a situation where you're pushing your limits. It's a 2-day ride. You start in the evening. Most times we started in the evening. We always start around 3 or 4 o'clock. Ride up and over, if you guys all know, area of like Silverwood and Big Bear and down into Johnson Valley. So the total turnaround trip is a couple 100 miles, 220, I think, something like that by the time we're said and done. But our whole trip was like, we like to leave the trucks and get somewhere and camp on the bikes and realize that we can all get together and ride back up and over. So we really were further together, that's our marquee, that's our mantra. So that ride has been going on for almost 10 years now, and it's evolved into a little bit of just like a thank you really to the partners and the people who help us along the way. And there's some local, like some dudes will drop out and not be able to make it. So there's some local guys that will get in the mix. So next time one falls out, Bakersfield's getting a call.
Well, no, I fell out.
Gets down. You fell out. That's right. Luke
out.
said you fell out. Yeah. Which I was
so
upset about when I found out, because I felt like there was like, we did something,
they kind of started telling me that you were going to be there, and I was like, have a reservation. Yeah. I was like, I don't know about this. But no, really, I did screw up. I unfortunately had another event that weekend and was not able to do it. So I'm glad that someone else was able to soak up that spot and go on the ride. So the
cool thing about this ride, 2018, there was 18 riders, and it was a decade deep, and it was just a weird number thing. It didn't make any sense. So if you would have came, it would have been 19. It would have been weird. So get in next year, and then we'll make sure the numbers are right.
And so next year you're going to allow one more guy and be 19.
That's you.
Okay,
that's you.
Okay. So this ride started. Tell me again, just so for the viewers, where did it start at? What was the original starting place? I don't need exact coordinates, but just give me an idea.
It used to be at Glen Helen. It'd be like right at the base, right there. And then this year we switched it up a little bit. We wanted to get people out to Johnson Valley and to kind of the founding land of where Wolf was at. So we started in the what's the name of the staging zone right there? Miller. Yeah, I always forget that little. Yeah. So we started at Miller Canyon, and then this year we went a different loop, Deep Creek, out through Single Track and around Hesperia. Backside, ended up at Cafe 247, which if no one's been at 247, or if you have been, you know how incredible that place is. I think that they like literally fell out of Mad Max and just barbecue. And they're amazing people. So they hosted us and took care of us. And then from there, we ended up riding out to on the backside where the bomb craters are, all the salt flats that are out there. Dry lake beds, and then past like Forest House and his compound, and then double back and went across all the whoops, and then into, at that point, it was late in the day. This was day one still, sorry. We were probably around 5 o'clock at night at that point. So there was a few folks that had kind of reached their, the other thing is like, we never want to push someone so beyond where anybody's getting hurt. So a couple guys were burnt and beyond their, the limits. So they decided to go back to campfire, have a couple, cold ones and chill. And then another group of us went on to the night section and turned on the Baja lights and started getting squirrely up there in Boulder Alley, so.
That's awesome. So where was the night? So let's back up. Did you guys hang out at camp at its camp, which is the camp is the actual compound that WLF was founded at, and that was out by Johnson Valley over there. So you guys all hung out there for a while, and then you guys decided to go out. And at that point, everyone was good, golden. Everyone, there was no issues, or was there any issues?
So actually, when we came across the highway, there was a stop sign right there at that point. Everyone looks at each other and decides who's going to move on and who's ready to get back to the compound, to the cabin. And about, I want to say 7 out of the 18 guys, maybe 7 of them went to the compound, and the rest just kept moving on. So stayed with the bikes. And
so the night section, they didn't even, none of you guys stopped. You just kept on going.
Just keep on keeping on. You know how it is once you get warm. It's like you don't want to more time the better, you know?
Yeah.
So
So where was the night section through?
night section went through the back half in Boulder Alley is kind of what we always coined it. Everybody's got different names for it, but that section of rocks that I think you guys will probably start seeing some photos pop up on Instagram, and we're going to, after the live feed is done, we'll get a URL over to Nick so you can see the full write-up, as well as all the images that we got courtesy of Luke Takahashi, Jake Smith, Chaz Rita, and a little dude that you know named Drew Ruiz. It's just, you know, I think he was on his iPhone, to be honest. I think he's got a killer camera on the XR. So he's
just so everyone knows, not to mean to
Yeah.
cut you off, but when you talk about this ride and basically the updated photos and the write-up and everything, that's, yes, you are going to send me the URL link, but just so everyone knows, that all gets posted on the WLF website. So you
Correct.
guys can always go to the WLF website and see what's current on there, because there are some other rides already right now that's been posted. There's also the profiles.
Profiles, yep.
It's an awesome thing that you guys started. I mean, I don't know, about a year and a half ago or so. But
Yeah,
you
Luke
guys
Ritter
can
on there,
definitely-
year and a half ago.
everyone that's following, you can definitely go to WLF Enduro and their website. You can find the URL link to that on the WLF page, or you can type it in, search it, and it comes right up. But by far, go check it out if you haven't already. You'll already see some great content from the past rides and other people that have also worked with the WLF crew, riding with them and such. But then what Culver's talking about is this current ride that we're talking about will be posted here shortly. So don't even wait for my link to be popped up on the repost of this video on YouTube and Facebook. Just go ahead and go and check out WLF, because they've already got a great selection of content to go and check out. So just wanted to let everyone know about that.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate that.
I try.
Dude, killing game.
So the night ride, I saw some pictures of you guys wrenching on some bikes.
At night, wrenching on bikes.
Was it at night? I know there was one day. Was there any problems?
Oh, was that the one, Chaz, with the blowout of the, there we had two at Holcomb, right? There was a rear tire that Tyler did, and there was also we had 5 tires go. Obviously, those dudes not running Moose, team blowing it. Those guys are, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the dudes you ride with, and you're like, hey, bud, there's a new technology out.
I pretty much, now at this point, if I ride with someone, I tell them I don't like to stop. So if you're a tube guy, I mean, it's just one of those conversations that I think we've talked about. Multiple people have talked about that. Deserves its own live stream in itself. But
we need to get those guys on here for sure. It would be amazing. So
right.
But yeah, so 5 tires. We had a couple of chains throw. Jake, what else did we have?
When?
In just the whole first day was like tires,
This
chains
trip,
for this trip. Yeah,
Nothing.
that was
A
it.
flat tire, and 2 chains.
Oh, it was only one flat tire that took the guy a long time to fix, and 2 chains. The chains were quick. So
got it.
Yeah.
But the flat tire gave us time in Holcomb to really.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the flat tire actually ended up making a really fun section where Holcomb, you know, the valley area where you've got all the rocks, and at that point everybody was kind of taking a break, and then we decided to have just some quick like little battles. We had the Smith brothers battling, we had the Ruiz brothers, Drew's brother Tyler. Shout out to Access on here for sure. He is the best dude ever, and he is a monster. Like, he's a large human. He's bigger than I am, and he flies by you like you're not like you're standing still. So we had the brothers battling in Holcomb. We had dude, everybody. Dougie Fresh was out there killing it. There was like Dougie was on it. Got through almost no touches. We had man, the other dudes. There was a good crew. Scott Saygood from Answer. He was just like running, like he's owning it on the Husky. Yeah, everybody had fun. That was a section where we all kind of had stadium-style seatings and making fun of each other when you were balling and battling and all that, and just like definitely had a good moment right there in the trip.
That's awesome. So you guys got to play around all right there. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
That's cool. So about what time did you guys start making it back to the campsite?
We didn't end up back at the campsite until what time? 9 o'clock at night, somewhere around there. 9. So we started at 9 in the morning and ended up at 9 by the time we finished up, 9 at night. So on the first day.
Wow.
Which was 6 hours better than last year, by the way. So
Really? Well, it's better
yeah.
than what we did on the last ride that I rode with you on when
That's right.
I had
Staters
to
for
go
Stars.
back in until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was when we
but-
had Mad Jack was literally in there trying to just put a new light on your bike is what was going on.
So, so you guys get back, and at that point, was someone cooking some grub, or what were you guys doing?
Yeah, so the cabin actually was built in like 1950, who knows when, and the stove is still from that time. So it opens up and you just throw some frozen pizzas in there, and there's cold ones in the ice chest, and everyone just gets around the fire and has like an epic time of just chilling. So actually another cool moment that we had, because there's not that many people, and you know how it is when you go on a ride, like you end up becoming like, you hit off with certain dudes, they get you through a section or you help them, and there's just that camaraderie, you know, the community. So you end up sitting around the fire, and then we all had like kind of the Thanksgiving moment, because this was prior to Thanksgiving, and we sat down and I think maybe Greg was passing the bottle of something around, and then each person was thanking the person to the left or saying something that was super cool about them, you know, just what they're thankful for. The first time they got to meet him, the help in Holcomb, the help for, you know, the support or brother, whatever it was. Like, it was really cool. So
That's awesome. That's great,
Yeah.
man. I wish I was there. So next one. So the next day, what was the plan for day 2?
take some Advil and have some pregame to get yourself up and rolling. A lot of coffee. Luke makes probably the oh man, it's like liquid gold for coffee drinkers. It'll get you so fired up, you're ready to go like another 200 miles. So he only drinks it black though. No creamer, Hobbs. No creamer, Jaime. If you're on here, no creamer. So yeah, then that's basically everybody just getting ready. Kickstands up at 9 o'clock in that morning, and everybody's just ready to rip again. And we had to do back up and over. So instead of going out the way we came for Hesperia and all the way that we came in, we went a different route. So guys that had been part of it before, like Dougie and Scott and Drew, it all kind of gave them a different look at it, you know, made them, oh, there's Jake. There's a comment saying, Jake, your wife's probably on there, wants to see your face.
Hi, Davey. Hi, Dylan.
Oh, you gotta say hi to the girls. Oh man. So it ended up being where that time that we leave at like 9, we're gonna go back up and over oh, there you go, Jake. Now you're in. We're gonna go back up and over the to Big Bear, which is a fun ride section, Jake. Oh, you want to hear?
Is this working?
Yeah, it works. I think. Let's see. Can you hear him?
I think so.
What's going on, Jake?
There we go.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I've been
Apple,
trying to
our
get
new
you
sponsor.
on, and now I finally get you on. That's great.
I'm scared to go alone.
Come
Further
on,
together.
man.
Further together, dude.
Come on.
What do you got for Jake? Ask Jake a question. I want to hear a Jake
Be nice.
question.
So, what are you riding, Jake? Let's tell everyone what you ride. You got.
I got 2 bikes.
Yep.
My favorite bike is a 2001 RM125. And then I just recently was able to barter and trade myself into a 2015 Husky 501.
Nice. You gonna hook up Culver on that kind of a deal, or what?
I mean, my brother just hooked me up, so I guess not.
Brotherly love.
It was either me or Keith, and I got it.
I got Mikey's old 2007 that seized up top end toast.
Mike
So
does that to us.
thanks,
that
Mike Smith.
Smells really bad, and
Dude, it's awful. Like literally for like a month back there, I just let it air out. It was crazy. M. Frank.
Wow. Well, we're going to definitely have to get you on at some point by yourself and talk about one of these rides. I know we've been talking about it and I've been pushing you, so maybe you might think about it and consider it at some point. But yeah, or maybe just do a group one with all you guys. I don't know, whatever.
Like it, dude. Just 6-way.
How about we just do this on the back of your motorcycle with a selfie stick?
I don't think I have that much room on my seat. I mean, what? You know,
I'll
I'm
sit
not.
on your handlebars. I trust you.
Yeah, well, you know who you can call for that kind of routine, that kind of riding, is Bryce.
Bryce is good at that.
Down
Yeah.
the 2 up. I've seen it for myself.
I'm not.
Yeah.
No comment.
No comment. We can't get there. We can't get Brycey boy. Love you, bud.
Yeah. Yep. So, so we were talking about the second day. You guys getting up and getting on the road, And again, just kind of give everyone a heads up. I kind of already know this too, but you guys had a truck that was involved in the whole ride, which was at the staging area that packed a bunch of overnight bags and some other gear and stuff like that. Why don't you tell us who provided the rig and helped you guys out on that?
That's awesome. Yeah, we got a ton of love with Donnie and FMF and the guys at Toyota. Hooked up the Tundra to tow out and get everybody's stuff out there, which was amazing. Thank you so much, Little D, Toyota, FMF. You guys kill it. We had Wills, was like our superhero. That kid jumped in like all hands on deck, trailered out, had everything ready for everyone, set up and ready to go. So if he's out there somewhere at Will's, is he? Will's Frederick, and you are the man. We love you, bud.
So that's who drove the chase truck.
Yep, Wills did, yeah.
Awesome.
So, and Wills is helping out with Supercross this year. He leaves in January, and he's gone for like 3 months. So this was kind of like one of his last hurrahs before he took off on his tour of duty. So we appreciate him spending the time with us. So
awesome. So you guys had just enough stuff packed into a truck, and then you guys had the den also, I'm guessing?
Correct. We had the den, yeah. And if no one knows about the den, you haven't seen the den, it's our trail support vehicle. If you ever see it out there somewhere, there's hopefully some water and some tubes and some stuff you need. It's always available to you. So it's it's our deal. We use it for shade, we use it for sleeping. My thing's moving on me. How did that happen?
You got the full crew over there. You got everything.
Yeah, this is it's a production, dude.
Yeah.
We're doing like a full production. Yeah. So wait till the dancing elves come out.
If you start sweating a little bit, does someone come in with like a damp?
I just got, and that literally, I don't think he can hear you right now. He just did that on a whim. That was the best timing I think I've ever seen right there.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, that was amazing. I have my XR. If you guys can't see it, my XR and my Christmas tree is like right here somewhere. So you can pan to the right. There you go. We're in my house right now with my Christmas tree. My wife's going to kill me as soon as this is done, but there's the 99. There she is right there.
Dude, look at that.
So,
Old Faithful.
Done deal. Old Faithful. She's running gunning.
Well, I do want to see you on a new bike, though, for 2019. But I definitely want to see you step up into a newer fuel-injected bike or something.
Okay, I like where you're going with it. I think that maybe Santa Claus will treat me well this year. We'll see. We got some really cool stuff in the mix next year for Mission 3 with Husqvarna and some other friends that we're So you never know. You see me in Back to the Future here. So
awesome. Okay, so day 2, you guys take off. You load up, or everyone loads up their stuff, and you guys take off riding. And you said there's 18 of you guys riding. Everyone's in the crew today, or is it
everyone,
or what's going on?
Yeah, everyone made the trek up into Big Bear from JV. I think we only lost, I don't know, Luke, 2 dudes from that point, or 1. I think maybe 1, something like that. So yeah, 1 or 2 kicked out after lunch just due to a knee injury, an ailment that was just been bugging for a while. But outside of that, it was the whole crew, everybody together.
Awesome. And tell me about some of the tracks that you guys took from the spot to Big Bear.
Tracks wise, from there, I'm trying to think. Is that stuff we're allowed to share? How does that work? Isn't that like illegal?
I mean, I don't need exact coordinates. I just want to know about them. I mean, are we talking about, rock gardens? Are we talking about single track? Or are you guys just highwaying it all? I mean, I just want people to know the level of it.
Nick, you know us. You know Luke Takahashi and Mike, Smith. They don't do highway. Highway is not a thing, No. So little bits and pieces. Only to connect. Connections is Connect 4, connect the highways. But yeah, we did Rattlesnake Canyon. I think there was some insane stuff. We got footage on the way out of that. Some stuff up in the yucca trees there. So again, just trying to challenge people to to enjoy their ride, but push themselves to have fun, and just be together as the crew. And it's always one of those things where the pack kind of breaks up. You have your leaders up front, you have the dudes that are shooting photos, you'll have the guys in the middle, and then the guys that bring up the rear collectively, making sure everybody gets dialed in, everybody radioed up. So for the crew we had, we were moving at a pretty good click. There wasn't a lot of stall time, that's for sure.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Luke can verify this because I know he's listening. I saw Luke posting some GoPro footage on some single track stuff, and if I'm not mistaken, that's probably day 2 from what I saw. Is that not correct? Maybe some people can go in. I mean, just so they can get a taste of what you guys are riding. Was day 2 those GoPro footage that he posted?
GoPro footage was from day 2, Luke, or was that day 1? GoPro footage that you put up, was that day 2? That was day 1, actually. Okay. That was day 1.
Well,
yeah.
You got anyone watching can go and check out Tarakadak. That's Luke. And he's got some GoPro footage that he posted up just a few days ago, and it shows some of the tracks that they were on. Again, we're not trying to give you exact GPS coordinates and everything else in between, but, give you guys a taste of what was going on.
100%.
So tell us more about day 2.
Day 2. Grayson, they want to know about day 2 at StumbleBee. Let's tell them. So what we ended up doing for the remainder of day 2 was we took a lot of really fun sections from up in the Yuccas and then climbing on the backside of Big Bear at the end of the day, that stuff gets rocky and gets, climby and rigidy. So you got to kind of make sure you navigate the waters properly. With a crew that big, it's always kind of a challenge where you're trying to make sure everybody's safe, but you're also keeping up pace. So everybody got through everything that we threw at them in an epic way. We stopped at Broadway Cafe. I always ask Chaz the food questions because he's the foodie of the group. He's a snack. We call him Snack Shack. So Broadway Cafe was the one. And the place is epic. If you guys are ever in Big Bear and you need, they have everything from breakfast does stop at 11 though. So if you're there at 11:30 with a bunch of dudes trying to get breakfast, pancakes, it's not gonna win.
And that one's the one that's right down the street from Motel 6 and or Motel. That's Motel 6, right?
Yeah, I think it's Motel 6 across and the Shell gas station and all that stuff.
That's right there by the event center where Big Bear Trail Riders event is and stuff like that. Really great place to have breakfast and lunch and stuff like that. Been there multiple times.
They now have, I think they still, we have stickers on the windows. They were all excited. I think we're maybe officially sponsored by Broadway Cafe. So at least I ate enough to be. So let's see.
Awesome. So after lunch, were you guys just stuffed and just wanted to veg, or were you guys ready to roll?
Everybody was ready to roll. We were, baking in the sun. The guys at Deus hooked us up with lunch. We had Dustin. Dustin couldn't be there. Kalana had a race, and Julian wasn't around, and Forrest couldn't. Everybody was in Baja. I think that's what it was. All the boys at the Baja from Deus. Baja 1000 weekend. That's right. And then that's where you were, and that's your reason you couldn't be. So, it all makes sense now, So, but yeah, those dudes were down there as well at the same time you were, and they couldn't make it, but they did support and lunch, and we thank them so much for that. If you guys don't know about Deus, you need to go check them out to get inspired. Ton of incredible people, amazing friends of ours. So yeah, love what they're doing.
Nice. So after lunch, give us some.
After lunch, we jumped on and did the highway thing just to get, so you end up crossing on to the other side. Yep, going from that. And then everybody filled up at the Arco gas station, got what they needed dialed, and then started heading over. And that's on the backside when you cut through, is that Crab Flats in that neck of the woods? Like when you, that's Crab. That was the Holcomb section. That was day 2. That was Crab Flats to Holcomb. Some more challenging riding to get back out to what's after what leads Dishpan. Dishpan.
Yeah.
And then Ballbuster and all those other places that everybody on here probably knows where they're at.
Yeah.
So
and all these places, so because I get a lot of people asking me about Big Bear and stuff, and all these places you have to have a dual sport bike. That's the key to it. Correct. Because all these roads, these fire roads, they're off-road roads, are plated only roads. So a lot of people ask, and my son keeps on wanting to go up there and ride, and obviously he's not on a plated bike yet. So, it's this is where the dual sport life comes into effect, where you can just connect so much stuff, and you never even realize that you're on, roads that demand a plate, but you get to experience everything. That's the dual sport way. It's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, that's the best thing about it. When we first started riding them, Jake and Mikey, they all just said, like, dude, you get a chance to see everything because of this plate. You realize how much further you can go. And the bikes now, like to your point, fuel injected and everything you guys are on, those bikes are they're gnarly. They're amazing. They're built for it. So it's not like you're on this thumpy old, you know, whatever plated thing that's just getting you from A to B. Like you're able to actually get into some rad stuff, you know?
But just like you prove, you don't need a brand new bike to go and do these things.
True.
And you can do, you know, something that's a little bit older that's still plated and whatnot. I just give you, you know, I'm just giving you some push because
For sure.
I know you're there, so I just want to give you a little bit of push. But for all means, I mean, anyone can jump on board, whether it's you know, a DRZ or you know, older Honda or whatever the case is. You know,
For sure.
Dual sport is dual sport, and no matter how much, you know, power you have underneath you, you can still go out and enjoy some of the stuff and have fun.
100%. I mean, run what you brung at the end of the day. The crew, everybody had just a variety of bikes that were all amazing. I mean, the oldest in the 90s to the newest in the 19s and everything in between. You know, we had 300, we had smokers out there. And you have like all the new stuff that's the 300 and it's amazing to see the variation. Everybody with the plates and can still do the same thing is really, really rad. And like, that's the funny thing about it's like, you know, I always get a little bit of the pushback on the old bike in certain situations, but I don't maintain my stuff at all. Everything's broken all of the time. So I need a bike that I can shoot a shotgun at and it'll kick over again. So that's why the XR works for me, because it's bulletproof, you know?
So let's give our buddies over at Enduro Life some love, because I know they just popped up with a question. It's a valid question. I mean, sometimes, you know, their questions are a little far-fetched, but give them a little bit of love here. But Enduro Life guys, you know, they're avid off-roaders and stuff like that. They have a great question. Can they plate their three-wheeler? My answer is, as long as it's a 250R three-wheeler, like an 85 or 84-ish, or, you know, somewhere around in there when they were making those, go right ahead and do it. But if it's a four-stroker, nah, just don't plate it.
Just kick it to the curb. They need to go check out the guys at Pharmacy Board Shop and check out Jeremy, because they got some three-wheelers that'll blow their minds. They're going to be like, wait, what'd you just do to that thing?
Awesome. So day two, man, where are we at, or how far away are we from our finishing line?
From the finishing line at this point, it's probably another hour and a half after all the on the back end after lunch. I think we finished around 3 o'clock or something like that. I don't know. What time?
Like 5:30.
5:30. Oh, it was a little bit. It was by the time we got back to the road. Yeah. So it ended up being again like a 9 to 5. You know.
Good ride. Good ride. Definitely.
Yeah. Great ride. Took everyone got through. No injuries, no major anything with bikes. So everybody pulled in back at Miller like in one piece and stoked. You know, that's all we could ask for.
So tell me, with these rides, not even just this one, but any of these rides that you guys go on, give me some of like the necessities that you have to have as a rider, whether it's on your body, gear wise, or on the bike. What's like the necessity that you must have? You know, some just good key upgrades and stuff done to your bike plus your gear, your physical riding gear.
Well, it just depends. I mean, everybody's different. You have guys that wear, you know, full body gear, every brace you possibly could imagine. Then you have guys that are barely just, you know, running a jersey and pants and the boots, you know, when it comes to the gear they're wearing.
Sure.
We have a pretty rad collaboration coming out that we're working on with the guys at Answer for off-road that we're going to drop in the middle of next year. It's a vest. Everybody's been asking about it, so we want to talk about it and let everybody know it's going to be coming. And that thing is really helpful for us because we grew up in the era of like, I mean, you pack it because you don't know if you're going to need it. You don't know if you're going to need the tire irons and the tubes. Chaz has 1,000,001 snacks. You know, Luke's got his camera, everything else under the sun. Like, you got a lot of stuff. So you have a bag on your back that would be pulling you backwards, you know, giving you a lot of weight, and kind of what the vest did. And we started doing this, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, was starting with like the flight vests or old military vests, and, you know, just kind of working with what we had to make it work, but disperse the weight and make it feel good as you're doing long distances. And so, yeah, the one that we got coming is insane. I mean, it's very versatile. It fits every rider. It's breathable. A lot of pouches, a lot of MOLLE, a lot of stuff that you can kind of work with. And it's made out of Cordura. I don't know if you guys know anything about Cordura or not, but that material is like bulletproof in the outdoor space. Everybody uses it. Moisture wicking, all that fun stuff. So things meant to get used and abused, you know?
So safe to say, pick your poison on exactly what products you want. But the
Where
main
you
thing
wanna
for
pack.
these big long rides is having enough availability for space to, you know, carry your key, tools, and everything else, your necessities, but disperse it around within your body on the front and the rear, vest wise.
For sure. Giant loop bags are a huge help.
Yeah.
Giant loop. Some dudes run them. We bring them off the back of the fender. Some run them up on the top in the front or the fender bag, just to more extra things that you may need. Some CO2 for fillage if you're running tubes. Yeah, just kind of everybody's a little bit different. We always say that it's like we look at each other when we're packing and like, hey, if I'm riding with this crew, you may bring the tire irons and you may try to lighten your own load and the crew that you run with. If you're riding with 2, 3, 4 people, not everybody needs to bring tire irons, you know? So it's just like make it where everybody's splitting up the load.
So let's talk about fuel consumption. I mean, you know, if you want to ride with a group like this, you guys are doing 100 miles within a stretch and not seeing a gas station. So obviously, you know, 3.0s, 3.1s, 3.2s, you know, gas tank upgrades are a necessity as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, IMS dudes are always like, you can't see it back here, but the big tank, the big desert tank on the XR and all the bikes that we have, Scott and Chris and the whole crew at IMS, they were on the ride as well. We had a couple of dudes. You have to be prepared and knowing like what distance you're looking at doing, pack extra gas if you need it. And then we do plan the ride as well, try and be as mindful as possible of everyone on board and just knowing like there is a gas station stop or so, just to make sure. Yeah, just in case, you know, you never want to be in that situation, but it does happen.
No, so I've been on rides before to where we start running out of gas and we weren't going to make it to our destination, so we had to reroute. I mean, and we even had we all pretty much had 3.0s, or if not, just a little bit larger, you know, 100, a little bit over 100 miles, you know, capabilities. But we were running out, and we weren't going to make it to our final destination, so we had to reroute.
For sure.
That sucks. So you definitely want to make sure that you're you know, knowledgeable of what you're trying to achieve and have enough fuel consumption available.
When I think too, you know, from riding for a long time now and riding with certain people, you get a crew together and then you start looking, good night, Grayson. I love you, buddy. Sorry, my son's 2 and he's going to bed, so I got to take a minute. Oh, long hair, don't care. Love you.
You sure that's not Luke's kid, huh?
This is not Luke's kid. No. I love the question though, because I think he took Luke's hair and he harnessed it, you know? So he's got it covered. So Uncle Luke gave him his locks. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like you really planning phases, a lot goes into it when you're taking a crew this big. And we've been doing it for a really long time now. Where we have like Chaz with the maps and Greg on the planning front for the stops and Luke with the tracks and everybody in between. You just look at it and you make sure that like you try and be as mindful and prep for things that may happen to you know, not have them happen, but you know, that's just all part of the fun.
So with this big, large size of a group and talking about how you got your camera guys in one spot, you got your front runners, your rears, and all that good stuff, how hard is it to communicate with each other?
So comms it's so interesting because the first time I ever got a radio and started listening in, I felt like I was in some Flight of the Navigator movie or Top Gun, you know, you're just like, this is crazy. You can talk to each other on the fly. But everybody runs comms, and everyone's different. Some dudes are Midland, some are Bofang. They all, you know, just depends on which one you find that you like. But yeah, comms are massive, especially front and back. And the way we always run our crew is Luke or Jake or Chaz or somebody will be going up and they're leading the way and they're getting ready to set up for a shot and they call down, and then you always have sweep in the back and make sure everybody's taken care of. So to be able to hear each other is massive, you know? So, and a lot of guys that ride with us already have them. Some don't. It's always one of those things that you just want to advise people. Like if you're going out and you're getting lost, you got to make sure you're on your own, you know, in a big way. So you got to make sure to be able to have communication, at least within your own crew, you know? So
I saw a question just pop up. And I'm not really calling them out because it's sideways on the phone, but anyways, it's asked if you guys, or you know, if recommendation of an inside helmet kit, or you guys just running the radios, because I know a lot of you guys are just running a radio simply, you know, on the side of the vest, so it's not like you're talking all the time while you're riding, but you're still available to pull over and call out to the next person and have them stop and whatnot. Or there's the guys that are running in helmet comms where they're push to talk, which I have those kits. I run them regularly, but then I've also, depending on who I'm riding with, will just run with my radio off to the side. Again, if my other buddies don't have an in-helmet comm push to talk setup, then I won't run mine just because it's, not really needed at that point. We're all just on that same program to stop in college.
And everybody's different, like when we first got them, we'd plug them in and it would have like this full, deal coming off the back of your helmet and it plugged into your bike, and it was, you could push to talk, and it was just a lot of wires going on, a lot of like, kind of just organization. It was just like a lot of stuff. So a lot of guys kind of kicked that to the curb and they just used the walkie straight on the shoulder. I mean, our friends like the Babes Ride Out girls and Babes in the Dirt girls, they love, Senna's their jam, and they use the wireless Bluetooth stuff. And when you have, service and all that works, that's, great too. And just depends on your crew and what they all run. And now everybody's kind of got the same within our six. Everybody has the same walkies. We're all on the same frequency. You just know you charge it before you ride, you turn it on, you're always going to be able to hear them. But, to each their own when it comes down to like how it looks,
Yeah, no, comms are great. I think it speeds up the whole ride, and it's less confusion, especially when you have multiple different riders. And if you're in the desert, especially, well, it can work both ways, but in the desert, what I've seen that's drastic is that, when you're running at desert speeds and you're following a certain track, I mean, we were just talking about LAB to V, so this is fresh on my mind. 2 years ago, 2016, when I did LAB to V, myself and another guy jammed out in front, and we were doing like 70, 80 miles per hour, and we missed the turnoff. And the rest of the guys didn't miss it. And in all honesty, like, if we didn't have comms to be able to reach them, that could have been a huge problem with us. We realized that we went too far, but again, letting them know where we were at, because they're trying to find us and they didn't know we missed the turn. And so, like, it can definitely screw up a good ride real fast if you don't have communication.
It was really interesting that when you said that, we were talking, we were out on, I think the sun was setting on day one, and we were out in the dry lake bed, and our buddy Trent Kirby from Baja had a pretty good come off, like fifth gear with his crew, and he was they were on a different little section than we were. And if it wasn't for the comms, we would have been searching or waiting, but at that point, like, we knew he was good, and he just had a couple minor issues and tweaks that they had to do together. And there's 3 of them. So everybody was safe and sound, but we were able to hear that over a mountain range, at least far enough away where, hey, keep going to the point of the destination. We'll meet you guys there in 10 minutes versus like waiting around, missing each other. Like I said, missing a trail. So yeah, comms are everything. So.
Right. And I was listening to you, but my wife, I guess, was watching the live stream and saw that I was running a little bit low on my drink, so she went and made me another drink. So thumbs up to my wife.
Wifey. Well, my wife's nowhere to be found to be taking care of me on drinks, so I'm on my own over here.
You got your buddies over there wiping your face,
they're all
panning the phone and doing all this other crazy stuff for
production.
I wish
I could show you what they're doing. They're all laughing at me right now and reading the comments, and they're like, literally, I'm trying everything I can to keep engaging and listening to you. But yeah, no one can get me a drink. I got nothing in my hand. So,
well, too bad for your guys, I guess. So
yeah, brothers.
So I mean, yeah. Anything else that you can give helpful hints and whatnot for being another avid long distance rider and dual sporter, for people that are listening, any other great like upgrades or helpful hints on how to set yourself up for some of these rides? Like when you first started doing them, what was like the one thing that you're like, man, this thing really made a difference?
Okay, so I'll tell you a story. When I very first started, I didn't have like no concept of like being prepared ever. Like that, my life is just run that way. It's just by the seat of my pants. So when it comes down to something like this, you have to be prepared for. There's a learning curve. And I went out on a few rides with the guys, and everyone was just like, hey, there's only so much that we can take care of you. You have to take care of yourself, Right. And there's a Johnny Campbell. I think Jake showed it to me, and this would have been in like Dirt Rider, like I don't know, in the 90s or something. And it was like, it's been passed around the internet and done over and over again. I think there's a URL link somewhere, we'll find it, but it's like what to pack when you're running, you know, on your own and you're by yourself and you're out in the desert. And it was just like things you don't even think of. Like, you should probably bring your insurance card and have a copy of your ID and like your blood type and all these things, you know, and $100 in cash. That's like small bills for if you run up on something you need to, you know, to barter something or whatever it is. So it was interesting because I had never like thought about it like that, but the preparedness of it, it's pretty rad. It makes you focus. And when you're getting ready before the ride, leading up to it, you're checking all the boxes and making sure you have everything you need. And with our crew, the way we roll is like, if you forget something, it's just community. It gets put back in the pot. You borrow something, bring it back, you know, hook them up or whatever. So yeah.
But if you had like
the Johnny Camp.
If you had like a couple recommendations to some of the viewers,
you want specifics to the viewers. Okay. What are the things that I need to have on the trail? I need Jake Smith and Jake Smith. And then if there's no Jake Smiths around, then I could probably.
So where do you put one of those? In a saddle? On the handlebars? Like where?
Oh man, that dude Felix fixes everything. So okay, so if I had to, I was pretty prepared on this last trip. I did have some tools, some helpful stuff. Always have this. Have specific bike, or specific wrenches and your extra bolts for your bike specifically. So if you have to fix something, you know, you got a little bolt kit. It's one baggie, and if it's things that fall off the fenders or, you know, zip ties. I wish we could be sponsored by Zip Tie. We'd take that in a heartbeat because we use 1 million of them just to keep them. The Trailbound boys are like lights out, like the zip ties and the tie game they got on lock, you know? So have that stuff. Have things that are small, you know, they don't have to be massive items, but those little knickknacks that really help you with the small things that go wrong. Extra bolts for your own bike and a ratchet or a set to fit your bolts. So if you're European, if you're you know, Japanese, whatever your model is, make sure you have something. Because some people go out there and they're like, oh, I got a tool set, and it doesn't work for what they need, you know, size wise. So
cool. Well, you know, I'm watching the time over here, and we're starting to get to the end of everything because we got an hour on Instagram. But you know, just real quick, you know, if there's anyone else out there that you haven't already mentioned and give some good words to that supports you and the crew and everything, or anyone in the crew that you want to give a special shout out to, it's your time. I mean, anyone, you know, I know you guys got a lot of people behind you, so it's, you know, something be great to let everyone know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Honestly, we look at Wolf and we're blown away by what it has become, what it started out, you know, from the grassroots and just really 6 friends around a fire. You know, there's the guys in our crew. I mean, we've known each other since 2nd grade, and we're in our wedding, you know what I mean? And we're like lifelong friends with surfing, skating, snowboarding, riding dirt bikes, whatever you call it. So what I just say to everyone out there, when you look at it, like people that are behind us, they're championing us and backing what we do, we thank you so much for all of it. And I mean, all the partner brands from the FMF guys and AHM and Baja Designs and Seek Concepts, and we got AHM guys. Oh, hey, I already said that one, bud. Thank you. I got these guys telling me the guys that I'm missing out on, but I did have somebody bring me a drink. Nitro Moose, the guys at Nitro Moose are amazing and continue to be huge for us. Baja Designs, those guys are incredible. Our friends at CC, and just, man, like anyone else that I'm forgetting? Got it, dude. We're good. That's fine. That's all good. And like to everyone that's watching and wondering why you were sitting down and taking the time, thank you for doing that. And thank you, Nick, dude, for what you're doing right now. We realize that like everything is hindered on your passion for riding, right? Like, and just being a part of this community, and what you're cultivating and what you're focused on is highlighting stories the way we do with profiles. And at the end of the day, with the community that is Wolf, we want the people to feel like they're a part of it, the conduit, the connectivity, which you're a huge part of it. And we appreciate that. And what you're doing right now is like, I can see this thing, dude, 5 years from now, and you got the Joe Rogans of thinking moto, you know, deal. So when it comes down to the podcast, so thank you for doing that. Oh, I think I forgot stance, keeping our socks fresh.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, man, I really appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for taking a little bit of time away from all your homeboys over there that didn't get you a drink until the final last minutes.
How was that, dude? They waited to the very end. If this would have been like the Deus homies or anybody else, it would have been like done. I would have been good. So
hey, if I could have DM'd you a beer, I would have done it. You know what I'm saying?
in the future, 5 years from now, you'll be able to, and that happens. So,
right.
But everybody's still here. So on behalf of the founders of Wolf,
well, let's try to get everyone inside here.
In
so
the photos,
real quick here.
Except for Mike Smith, we're missing Mike Smith.
Right.
Got Luke Takahashi, Jake Smith,
Greg
Schlintz, Chaz Rita,
these are
and
all the
Mikey.
guys right here that are awesome. WLF crew, not everyone, but most of them all right there. You guys are awesome. Thanks for taking me in under your guys' wing. Wow, I mean, I don't know, it's been a few years now, and you guys are just awesome to ride with, and I enjoy every time I get to go out, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Us too, bro. Hey, and just a heads up, we have the new winter product about to come out in about a week. So if those been frenzying for some newness, we got some stuff for you. So some stuff to ride in, some stuff to chill in. So
speaking of that,
yes,
I didn't mention it at the beginning, but I'll mention it now. We still got a couple minutes.
I like it.
But
it's good. Good rolling.
As we posted it, or I posted it, and others, earlier today. You guys have signed up to actually donate product to a certain winner, a lucky winner that is following the live stream and commenting and engaging. So everyone that has engaged on the live stream is now entered to win either a shirt or a hat, depending on your size and availability. Those are the StumbleBee jerseys right there. They're cool as hell. They fit really well, they breathe really well, and they're awesome. So I have a number of their jerseys, the different designs and stuff like that. But everyone that has commented and engaged, you guys are entered. And one of the WF guys will go through all the comments and pick out a lucky winner. Again, like I said, they signed up to do that. I don't know how many of them we're going to do, but a handful of them. So I'm really thankful to have you guys be a part of this with me. And I look forward to doing them more often. Trying to have a goal of about a once a week type thing, if not just depending on how the schedule goes and holidays and everything. But my goal is to help everyone just understand what the dual sport lifestyle is about. It's about meeting, other guys that are like-minded and going on these just awesome rips, whether it's in California, out of state, in Utah, Colorado, or even down in Mexico. I mean, you don't need a dual sport down in Mexico, but still, it's still the same theory of like what kind of style riding and everything. And,
the mindset, for sure.
Place. Right. So that's why I'm doing it. And we're just about running out of time, but I want to thank you, Culver, for the time tonight and all the rest of the WF crew. Thank you for everyone that's tuned in tonight and commented and engaged with us. I look forward to you guys, seeing you guys on the next one, but thank you very much, guys.
Sure. Have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Further together. We love you guys.
All right, man. Take it easy. Thank you.